So
Yeah.
are we going to see that as a goal celebration this year?
I know you may see a backflip though,
Okay,
but
okay,
yeah.
standing backflip.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, well, I mean, for the fans and listeners at home, I think we're gonna have to tune into all games because Ellie just promised she's doing a backflip
Yeah.
during the season. All right. All right, here we go. Night Nation, we have an exciting guest today. We have a USA South second team all conference midfielder, team high 71 points in 2025, multi-year all conference honoree, senior from Meridian, Idaho, Ellie Patterson. Thanks for joining us today, Ellie.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited, and especially as the women's lacrosse season is right here around the corner, we're excited to talk about the upcoming season. Obviously, building upon the success as you've been there for a number of years, your early years, and why you chose lacrosse, coming all the way from Idaho to Virginia. And so let's just start there, Ellie. As in 2021, you won a national award for lacrosse. I'm sure you grew up playing lacrosse. So what was it about the sport of lacrosse that made you love it and want to play it?
So actually, playing lacrosse is kind of a funny story. I played rugby my eighth grade year, and then I got a concussion, so my mom was like, no more. And then she kind of like forced me to go try out for the lacrosse team my freshman year of high school. And so I was like, oh, like, no, I don't really want to do that. She's like, just do it. Like, she borrowed a stick from someone and she gave it to me, and I was like, all right, I'll just do it. And that's kind of where my love started. She forced me to go to tryouts, basically. And then I just really connected with it. I'd played basketball, and so defense was kind of like similar. And that's kind of how I just grown my love for the game. So,
Great. So shout out to mom there for
yeah.
turning you into the player you are from
Yeah.
going to rugby to lacrosse. I guess in basketball as well. Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And then, so as you said, you kind of transitioned from rugby and obviously playing basketball and lacrosse. So multi-sport athlete there. And so speak to that a little bit about being a multi-sport athlete, especially in today's age. Kind of what benefits does that have? You mentioned a little bit about defense, but kind of it's almost like a year-round but different sports.
Yeah. I grew up in a family that loves sports, so we were always doing something. We always were in different seasons, and so it was kind of just natural. Like, I never really felt like I was stressed. It was just like, oh, okay, next season. So it wasn't really like there wasn't any curveballs or anything. It was just natural for
This
our
is
family.
this is what you do.
Yep. Hmm.
Great, great. And then speaking on kind of seasons and different times of career, so you went from obviously playing the high school to then the collegiate level. So what was that recruiting process like? And obviously, I like to talk to the SVU athletes specifically because a majority are from the West Coast, Midwest, whatever, but they make it all the way to Virginia. So what was that like? What was the process like for the high schoolers in that scene right now?
Yeah, so my senior year of high school, Rainey Whitworth recruited me from my high school team. And then I came out for a visit. It was absolutely amazing. I fell in love with it the moment I stepped onto campus. Just like her competitiveness and her drive to grow a team was really stand out to me. That was kind of like my recruitment process. And then like a few weeks later after my recruitment trip, I was like, yeah, like let's do this. So pretty easy transition, honestly.
Great to hear. And then speak to kind of the obviously you're going into your senior year, but coming in as a freshman, playing a few games, then kind of slowly, gradually better and better, and kind of leading into your leadership role now. But talk to maybe the freshman coming in, or what it's like coming in as a freshman, and then obviously concluding as you're being a senior here.
Yeah, coming in freshman year was a little bit intimidating, not gonna lie. We had a pretty big team, so it was super fun, but very competitive, very like more physical for sure than high school. And the girls are stronger, faster. So it was definitely a big change for me. Just learning new rules, like women's lacrosse rules are a little crazy. If you've ever watched, you might not really know what's going on half the time. But yeah, so learning new rules was pretty hard at first, but you kind of like had to be all in. Like you kind of had to put both feet in the door and not just be half in. You had to say, okay, like I'm going to do this full in and I'm going to put my heart and soul into it and not just be half in. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, well said. And maybe
Yeah.
go a little bit into like the practice habits, in-season training. And then obviously you're coming off the off season, going into in the season. So what does off-season training look like as a collegiate athlete?
Yeah, off season is kind of harder because you're getting into the groove of things. And then once season hits, it's like so much fun. You get to travel and just be with your team 24/7. It's just an amazing time, honestly. But
Great. And then maybe talk about the kind of the traveling. So once you're in season, obviously with academics, traveling, you still got practiced, got to eat right, got to still stay in the weight room and conditioning. So speak to kind of that all-encompassing once you're in season.
yeah, once you're in season, I would recommend taking like a lighter load in your academics, kind of load your off season and do all of like your hard classes during off season, and then in season take a lighter load so you can just really focus in on your sport.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. And then maybe talk to kind of like I guess the mental side of it, being in the game as far as big moments. How do you kind of handle that? How do you handle, some athletes like talking to themselves, some athletes are more vocal or quiet. Kind of what's your thought on that and your role in that aspect?
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm not quiet. I'm pretty loud. Like I'll speak what I'm thinking sometimes, and I think one way I like reset is I like take my goggles off during games and then I'll put them back on and be like, okay, like it's a new play, new rep, like that one's in the past. We also this past semester had a psychologist, a team psychologist, which was super cool to be a part of and just kind of learn your teammates' resets. So that was really interesting and forever grateful for that because it grew all of us
Yeah,
together.
for sure.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
especially in the team aspect, as you know, kind of knowing not just yourself, but how everyone else reacts to different moments and how they need to be, maybe not talk to, but talk to them during the moment, right? Like, okay, this person needs, I need to kind of, push them forward, and this person maybe not. So that just goes into the team aspect, obviously, as you know. And then I want to transition a little bit into some of your favorite moments. This can be high school, college, whatever you prefer, but maybe hardest away opponent that you faced, the stadium atmosphere, the raucous crowd, whatever it may be.
Yeah. I would say Meredith College. They're a really tough component, but yeah, Reese Walker is a really good attacker on Meredith. She's dirty, like she has really good footwork and got a really beautiful shot. So she's definitely one of the best players I've had to like play defense on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be looking out for that matchup this year as it comes out, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about your most meaningful win and/or goal or defensive stop. You can go either way.
Oh, that's so hard.
You can give us a top three if it's easier, or whatever works.
Okay. I would say the best win I think we've ever had as just like a team collective was last year. We played Brevard in the first round, and we just had a game. Like we just lit it up. We were shooting. Like I think almost everyone scored that day, which was just so much fun. And we just really came together. And I think those are the best games when you really just come together and you connect and you just cheer on each other after every goal, even in the fourth quarter when we're all dead and tired. I think that's just the greatest thing about sports is when you really get to connect with each other.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Yeah.
And talking a little bit about the team and kind of this upcoming season, what are we feeling? What are our thoughts on the upcoming 2026 campaign as you're headed into your senior season? But then obviously the team's been kind of building some momentum the past few years with some double-digit win seasons. So what's the 2026 look like?
Yeah, I'm super excited for this year. I think our culture as a whole has really grown to be something that people want to be a part of. And we've really grown a family and a home. And so I think in just that aspect, like we're gonna excel. We have some amazing freshmen that have joined our team this year. So shout out like Lonnie and May. Like I just cannot wait to see them grow and excel in what they have brought from their high school careers to college. I think it's just going to be a great season overall. Also, like our sophomores and juniors, like it just we're really going to come together this year because we have bonded and we love each other. So, yeah.
Looking forward to it, and I think obviously the season's right around the corner, as we said, and so looking forward to that. And we'll make sure to follow along. But then, as we kind of get into it, specifically for you, we're gonna do some rapid fire questions here, some fan favorites. So we'll go with your favorite pregame meal.
Oh, I really like scrambled eggs. Like if you make me a good egg omelet, like that's my go-to, honestly.
All right, love it, I love it. And then we'll go with, like I said, this is a team favorite. So we'll do, if you're giving the aux cord to one teammate before the game, who's it gonna be?
Oh, honestly, it would be our weights and our strength and conditioning coach, Porter Jones. Obviously, he's not really on our team, but he brings the hype every time. So we always ask him for the playlist. So he's technically on the aux, but not in the locker room.
Okay, well, shout out there. And then we'll go with one hidden talent that you have.
I can do a back bend and then like walk through my legs. If that makes sense.
So you like full circle almost?
Yeah, full circle. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we going to see that as a goal celebration this year?
I know you may see a backflip though.
Okay, standing backflip.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, well, I mean, for the fans and listeners at home, I think we're going to have to tune into all games because Ellie just promised she's doing a backflip during the season. Okay, looking forward. I think that's a great takeaway for this episode for the fans. So glad you showed that. Looking forward to that. And then just to kind of close out, Ellie, we want to, thank you for coming on and joining, and maybe specifically talk about kind of as you came, obviously as a freshman, all the way through your senior year. It's kind of a deep question. So what do you want your legacy to be as you conclude your senior season with SVU?
Ooh, I would just say I would want my legacy to be that Ellie was dedicated. Like I want people to know that I came here to really be my absolute best self 24/7, and when I say I want to do things, like actually get those things done. So I would say dedication for sure.
Great. It's a great word to have, and we appreciate you coming on today, Ellie. And before we go, do you have any last words to Night Nation before we conclude here?
Yeah, I have a saying my family always says, don't embarrass the family. So SVU, don't embarrass the family. Get out there and just work hard. But yeah.
Great way to conclude it. And Ellie, thanks again for joining the show. We're looking forward to a great 2026 season campaign. Obviously, your final year there, so we're looking forward to watch you kind of beat some of your personal and team records and whatnot going throughout the season. So, and then Night Nation week's right around the corner. So looking forward to that, and make sure to show out and support and cheer on the women's lacrosse team as they go for the USA South crown this year. So thanks again, Ellie, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yes, thanks for having me.
You got it.